Hello everyone, and welcome to the NBA DFS Stars and Scrubs show for Friday, February 12th, 2021. My name is Burd, here once again on the Sports Burd podcast, and we got a big 11-game slate to talk about tonight. We got 5 stars and 5 scrubs that we are going to discuss today. So, before we get started here, just wanted to remind you to like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you aren't already, be sure to be following me on Twitter at sports_bird, my Instagram at sports_bird. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon down in the link in the description below. I have my NBA player prop podcasts on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Also, we got a great Discord going there, a great community that we're building. Love to talk about prop betting every day. So be sure to check that out as well in the link in the description below. Also, I have a live stream going on later at around 5 p.m. Eastern time. Tonight, we will be talking about NBA player props that I like tonight, and I'll be answering all questions, so be sure to check that out as well. Also, just wanted to remind you about Thrive Fantasy, who is a partner of SportsBird. Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy sports app for player props, which is perfect for anybody who, knows my player prop shows, has watched that before. And if you're into player props, this is for you. You get presented 10 prop options, and you got to pick 5 of them. Put them in your lineup, and each prop is assigned a certain amount of points based on how risky it is. The more risky, the more amount of points, and you try to accumulate the most points, and the winners get a cash prize. If you sign up today and use the promo code BIRD, B-U-R-D, you'll receive an instant match bonus up to $50 on your first deposit of $20 or more. You can download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store or Play Store, or check it out at thrivefantasy.com. The link is in the description below, so be sure to check that out. Promo code BIRD, B-U-R-D. Now let's get started and let's talk about the 5 stars and 5 scrubs that we have on the slate tonight. The first guy that we are going to talk about is the center from the Denver Nuggets, Nicola Jokic, at $10,700 against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Nicola Jokic, he's arguably been the best player in all of fantasy basketball this season, averaging 26.9 points per game, 11.3 rebounds per game, 8.6 assists per game, and 59.4 DraftKings points per game. He has an ultra easy matchup here against the Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC ranks 24th in opponent points per game at 114.1. They rank 30th in opponent rebounds per game at 48.7. They rank 20th in opponent assists per game at 25.0. They rank 27th in opponent points in the paint per game at 50.8. And they rank 27th in opponent DraftKings points to centers. So all these stats, point to Jokic going off tonight. A guy who, obviously thrives in the paint, a guy who thrives in terms of dishing out passes and assists. I mean, Nicola Jokic is going to go off tonight. Now, there is a little bit of a concern about a blowout. The spread is at 11.5, but Oklahoma City, they've kept pretty much every game close in their last 5. Even with all these guys injured, they kept just 2 games close against the Lakers in their last 2. So, yeah, keep that in mind. I don't really think that this is going to be that much of a blowout, as much of a blowout as you think. So I think everything will be fine. Jokic comes in with a 31.5% usage rate, ranking 98th percentile amongst bigs, according to cleantheglass.com, and his assist percentage at 38% ranks 100th percentile amongst all bigs. I think Jokic has a big night here. Honestly, he's probably priced a little bit too low as well at $10,700. I think he should be in the 11K range. I like Jokic as my first star on the slate tonight. My second star on the slate that I want to talk about tonight is Nicola Vucevic of the Orlando Magic, priced at $9,400 against the Sacramento Kings. Nicola Vucevic having a great season, averaging 23.3 points per game, 11.6 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game, and 47.8 DraftKings points per game. His usage rate is up to 27.2%, which ranks in the 95th percentile amongst all bigs, according to cleantheglass.com. His defensive rebounding percentage at 27.6%, ranking in the 94th percentile of all bigs. He scored at least 50 DraftKings points in 4 of his last 5 games. 2 of those games, he had 61 and 77 fantasy points. Comes in here with the easiest matchup you could possibly ask for against the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento ranks 29th in opponent points per game at 118.3. They rank 20th in opponent rebounds per game at 45.5. They rank 25th in opponent assists per game at 25.9. They rank 30th, so dead last, in opponent points in the paint per game at 52.0. And they rank 29th in fantasy points allowed to centers. Vucevic also still not priced that high at $9,400. I like Vuce as the second star on this slate. The third star that we're going to talk about tonight is Russell Westbrook of the Washington Wizards at $9,000 against the New York Knicks. Westbrook's had a pretty down year, for his standards this season. 19.7 points per game, 9 rebounds, and 8.9 assists, only shooting 41.6% from the field, but shooting 34.3% from three, which would be tied for a career high for him. And compared to what we've seen in the past, as I just said, just not that good of a season for him, especially his shooting percentage, not good at all. However, Bradley Beal will be out this game against the Knicks, which means lots of Westbrook and nobody else. This reminds me of Westbrook's MVP season when he was putting up 31, 10, and 10 when it was basically him and then nobody else. Like, this is what it's going to be with Westbrook tonight. His usage rate is going to be sky high. He's already putting up a 34.9% usage rate this season, and that's only going to go a lot higher tonight without Beal. His assist percentage at 42.2%, which ranks in the 95th percentile amongst all point guards. Defensive rebounding percentage at 21.6%, which ranks in the 100th percentile amongst all point guards. Theoretically, it's not that easy of a matchup against the Knicks with this slow pace, but I expect Westbrook to, regardless, put up big numbers and have just a significant amount of usage against the New York Knicks tonight. As a result, Russell Westbrook is my third star on the slate tonight against the New York Knicks. Now we're going to move into our fourth star on the slate tonight, and that is combo guard Donovan Mitchell of the Utah Jazz, priced at $8,200 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Mike Conley will be out once again in this game, which means that you'll be getting Donovan Mitchell much of the time at point guard. The last 2 games that Conley has been out, Mitchell put up 62.5 fantasy points and 56.5 fantasy points. He's had 36, 9, and 4, and 27, 11, and 8 in those 2 games. Assist numbers obviously sky high with him playing the point guard role here, and it's also a very high number in this game in terms of the over-under. Bucks Utah 233.5. So Milwaukee's a very fast-paced team. That's why it's priced up that high. Milwaukee, they haven't been great defensively this year. I know that they play at a fast pace, so that plays a role, but they rank 17th in opponent points per game at 119.9. They rank 25th in opponent three-point percentage at 38.7. Obviously, Mitchell, a guy who shoots a lot of threes, that'll help him out. This could be a huge game once again for Donovan Mitchell, who's playing point guard. I think he's underpriced at $8,200 as well, averaging 24 points per game, 5.1 assists per game, and 4.3 rebounds per game this season. His usage rate is up at 34.0%. 98th percentile amongst all combo guards. I expect usage rate to be high tonight. I expect stats to be high. I expect him to put up great numbers against this Milwaukee Bucks team playing point guard. As a result, he is my 4th star on the slate tonight. Now we're going to move down to our 5th and final star that we're going to talk about. Stick to the same game and talk about shooting guard small forward Chris Middleton at $8,000 against the Utah Jazz. So, similar situation to Donovan Mitchell here. Jrue Holiday likely will be out again on Friday night due to COVID protocols, and in 2 games without Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton has turned in fantasy performances of 63 points and 44 points, double-digit assist games in both those games. Kind of uses a point guard when Jrue Holiday isn't there, averaging 20.7 points per game, 6.2 assists per game, 6.0 rebounds per game on the season, 40.4 fantasy points per game. Yes, it's a tough matchup against Utah, but with Holiday out, like I said, Middleton's going to be playing that point guard role. He's going to dish out a ton of assists, and as I mentioned, with Mitchell, high over-under in this game, lots of scoring. I like Chris Middleton tonight as my 5th star play at $8,000. Now we are going to get into our 5 scrub plays here. 5 scrub plays, that's the most I've had in a Stars and Scrubs video so far. It's a great night for scrubs. We got, with our first scrub play of the night, we got shooting guard small forward Dwayne Bacon of the Orlando Magic, priced at $4,400 against the Sacramento Kings. With Evan Fournier, Aaron Gordon, Cole Anthony, Michael Carter-Williams, and Al-Farouq Aminu out on Thursday night for Orlando, Dwayne Bacon got 37 minutes, putting up 20 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 steals. They didn't really have any point guards, so he played a lot of point guard. That was 32.25 DraftKings points in that game. And look, it's likely that not all those guys are going to play again, so definitely something to monitor there. I'm assuming a bunch of them, if not all of them, will be out once again tonight. And like I spoke about with Nicola Vucevic earlier in this video, Kings are horrible on defense. They rank 29th in opponent points per game at 118.3. They rank 20th in opponent rebounds per game at 45.5. They rank 25th in opponent assists per game at 25.9. 23rd in opponent DraftKings points to shooting guard small forward. If Dwayne Bacon gets another start in this game, and if he gets point guard minutes, that'll help things a lot. I think he's definitely worth the play at $4,400, assuming a lot of guys are out once again for the Magic. Now we're going to move into our second second scrub play of the day moved to a former Duke villain, and that is shooting guard small forward Grayson Allen at $4,100 against the Lakers. The Grizzlies have been without DeAnthony Melton and Brandon Clark and will be without Desmond Bane as well, another shooting guard in this game. This could mean extended minutes for Grayson Allen. Allen played 30 minutes last game, scoring 18 points to go around with 3 rebounds and 3 assists. That's 29.75 fantasy points. I think we should see around 30 minutes from him again with or more, honestly, with all these guys out. Allen shoots 38.4% from beyond the arc, so you got to hope he hits a bunch of threes in this game. Yeah, it's a tough matchup against the Lakers, but I'm going strictly here based on minutes, based on opportunity, and based on the low price of $4,100, so I like Grayson Allen as my second scrub play on the slate tonight. Now we're moving to our third scrub play on the slate tonight. We have rookie point guard from Oregon, Peyton Pritchard of the Boston Celtics at $3,800 against the Detroit Pistons. Peyton Pritchard went off against Toronto last night, scoring 20 points and grabbing 5 rebounds, also making 6 threes in that game. Good for 29.75 DraftKings points. Kemba Walker was just ruled out for the night, so there's a chance that Peyton Pritchard could start at point guard in this game. The Pistons ranked 22nd in opponent points per game at 113.4, 23rd in opponent assists per game at 25.6, 19th in opponent rebounds per game at 45.2, and 27th in opponent three-point percentage at 39.4. If Pritchard gets the extended minutes, which he will, I think that he's a great play, a great scrub play on this slate tonight, especially at $3,800, and I think that there's a good chance he starts and plays around 25 minutes in this game, if not more. As a result, great scrub play. Now we're going to move on here to our fourth scrub play, move to our third player from the Orlando Magic on this slate, and that is power forward center Chuma Okiki, the rookie from Auburn, $3,800 against the Sacramento Kings. Okiki is a rookie, as I said. He was drafted in 2019, but missed all of last year due to injury, and as a result, this is really his rookie season. He got extended minutes the last 2 games and had 23.75 and 25.25 DraftKings points in those 9, 5, and 5 last night against the Warriors in 35 minutes, 2, 7, and 5 the game before against Portland in 27 minutes. Like I mentioned, the Kings are awful on defense. Not going to run through all those stats again. Just keep an eye on the injury report here, because if a lot of these guys are out, Okiki's going to get extended minutes once again and could be a nice scrub play down at $3,800. Now moving to our last scrub play, it is another rookie, and it is another guy that's contingent on a guy being out. That is Isaiah Stewart of the Detroit Pistons, the center, at $3,100 against the Boston Celtics. So, with Mason Plumlee out last night, Isaiah Stewart got the start and had 17.7 rebounds in 31 minutes. He's a great rebounder, good energy guy. This is a guy that I know was rumored to go to the Knicks a lot, so I did some research into him around DraftKings, around the NBA draft time, I should say. He'll put up good stats if he's on the floor. If he's getting 30 minutes again, and he likely will if Mason Plumlee is out, then I think he's going to put up decent numbers. At $3,100, you can't really go wrong with that. He's in the 93rd percentile in terms of offensive rebounding percentage, so that's what when I say energy guy, that's the type of guy that I mean. If Plumlee is out once again, as I said, this is a no-brainer for Isaiah Stewart at $3,100, so just keep an eye on the injury report. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at sports_Burd. I will be updating. I'll be retweeting stuff. I'll let everyone know if Mason Plumlee is ruled out again. Hopefully he is, so we can get Isaiah Stewart at $3,100. Hopefully he takes that one more game of rest for his elbow issue. We get Isaiah Stewart down at this low price. That being said, that is a wrap for the NBA DFS Stars and Scrubs show for February 12th, 2021. Once again, be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Be sure to check out my Patreon, where we got NBA player prop stuff, NBA player prop content. That's in the link below. Be sure to check out Thrive Fantasy, promo code BURD, BURD. Follow me, Twitter, Instagram, at sports_Burd. And yeah, goodbye everyone, and good luck with your DFS lineups tonight.